That's fine. Now, on these particular problems, no one's borrowing anything. They're just trying to save money up for something in the future. So if that one's all right, how are these problems on this side? Were you able to do them? Should I do one or both?
Yeah, I think doing one would help.
Okay. So this is called a sinking fund. When people know how much they want to have in the future, they can figure out what the payments need to be. Okay. Again, there's no borrowing here. They're putting money in to get something in the future. So do you want to see Harv and his deboner or the parents?
Harv and the deboner.
You and Harv, all right. There is such a thing called a deboner. One class looked it up. But anyway, Harv's the owner of Harv's meat store, knows that he has to buy or must buy a new deboner machine in 4 years. The machine costs $12,000. In order to accumulate enough money to pay for the machine, Harv decides to deposit a sum of money at the end of each 6 months in an account paying 6% compounded semi-annually. So the 6 months is the same as semi-annually. So that means my end value here will be 2. How much should each payment? Now that right there tells me I've got to use a formula that has R in it. So let me write down my formula again. And now I'm going to put in the necessary information. Well, I don't need S there, do I? Because I know how much I need in the future. Because it's R that I do not know. So I need to put 12,000 over here. R I do not know. Interest rate 0.06 over 2. So all the ingredients in the right place. Are we okay? Hearing no nays, I will go ahead and I'm going to look. And guys, I'm going to go find this again inside my brackets. There, it's caught up with me. So I'm going to put the 0.06 divided by 2, store it in for X, get my bracket. So 1 plus X raised to, I'm going to go ahead and multiply that out. There's my numerator, divide by my denominator. See if you can come up with that. Because the next key in sequence, I'm not going to write anything down. I know that number is what's here in this bracket. So does everybody have that on their calculator? Okay. Now, I need to divide both sides by that number. So I'm going to type in 12,000. I'm going to hit divide, and I need to bring the answer down. For me to do that, I'm going to move my calculator up a little bit more. And what I want you to see is this ANS. It's right down here, and my finger will show up in just a second. Right there. Notice it's blue, so if I do second ANS, it's just pulled that number down where I need it so I can divide. And if I press enter, Harv needs to pay into this sinking fund $1,349.48. We might go ahead and do the next one too, so it'll just be more practice. So guys, did you come up with that?
Yeah.
So what I'd like you to do for number 2 is write down the necessary ingredients where they need to go. Let's double check and see if everybody's all right with that. Now, if you've got what I got, go see if you can come up with what the payment needs to be. How did you all do?
Got the same as you.
Yay. Now, I don't know about you all. My parents couldn't have done that. There's no way they could have done that. So I want to change this problem just a little bit. Make it a little bit more where you're going to have to use your calculator because it can be like a mess. Instead of how much should be paid semi-annually, let's make it monthly. So with the red, I'm going to change this to monthly. So what would change would be just my end value, and it would be 12. So still in red, let me make that a 12. So go see how this changes. If it went to monthly, so what do y'all think? Think you'll be all right on these problems so you can have the quiz done by Sunday?
Yeah, it'll never ask us to like solve for like the compound interest, will it?
Not on it. That would be very difficult to do. So no. How's
Okay.
that?
Sweet.
No, you're either looking for the amount at future amount, or you're going to be looking for a payment.
Okay, that's manageable.
Now, let me give you, I do need y'all to look at this video 33, say, before we meet Monday. Guys, this thing's a little bit different. And this is, it says present value of an annuity or amortization. This is when someone borrows money. These guys up there, Harv and the parents, they weren't borrowing. They were trying to save money up. But if somebody borrows money, particularly for a house, okay, car, sailboat, something like that, notice these letters down here. Now you see the little R, the little N, and the little T, same as before, interest rate, number of compounding periods, and time in years. That is a negative there. The R, that is payments. The P is present value. Now this is not going to give us a grand total at the end. What it does is if someone borrows money, they have to pay it back. So this is the borrowing money. That P is present value. What I would go and get to pay for a house today, I turn right around and I give that money to somebody else. What this does over here is it equates it out. I can find out what my payment needs to be in order to pay for that amount I borrowed. Now, when you borrow money, you're not only paying for what you borrowed, but also for any interest it would have accrued if you hadn't touched it. So this is not a future amount at all. That's the A's and the S's. This just relates what you borrow today and what you would need to do to pay back that money you borrowed. So it's a little bit different. So I do need you to look at that video, but do think about this. Again, these two examples that I had prior to this, the Harv and the parents, they didn't borrow. They were trying to save. But in section 3.4, you're going to find people wanting to borrow money. And this is where we figure out, well, how much do I have to pay in order to borrow that money. That's the real big difference between the two. So when you look at this video, think of it as you go through and what I just said. So is that all right?
Yeah.
Now, does anybody want to meet Friday just to be able to do problems out of section 3.3 before your quiz? Because it's optional. I just need to know. If no one wants to meet, I ain't going to show up. Are we
I think
all right?
I'm okay.
You're okay?
Yeah.
All right. So that means next time I see you will be, oh, sorry. I've been thinking about this and I never said it. Guys, when you answer in my math lab, it is to the hundredths place. So just say, for instance, you put 0.47 here. My math lab is going to count it wrong. I'm not going to quibble over a couple of pennies. Now, if you were a bank, I would. And I actually caught Home Federal one time. It's just something in me. When I see an error, I have to go do something about it. But between us, if it's a couple of pennies off, I'm not going to have any issues. But remember, I've got to see your work in order to get full credit. If I just get an answer, you're going to get partial credit. And I need to see the formula you're going to use, the little nuts and bolts, all the pieces that you used, and then finally the answer. So if that's clear and if everybody's all right, then I guess that's it for today. Y'all take care.
You too. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.